mute the mic, and then everyone can hear you. And then you transition over and you say, "Hey, everybody!
Hey!
It's Wait Did I Roll a Wild? Throwing it back on the pile because I'm going to make you smile. And it's not going to take a whole while. But it's your Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog, friend. We're here. It's me. I'm Tim. This is Dan over here. Maybe you heard of him.
Hi.
Guys, this is Wait Did I Roll a Wild? It's your Marvel Crisis
Aggressive Wait Did I
Protocol.
Roll Wild today.
Right? Sometimes you throw a fistful of dice down and it's all wilds, and you just needed a hit in a wild, and you're like, I got the Pierce, which is cool, but like
I got successes, but not really what I wanted.
but I didn't get Cosmic
Flurry.
Assassin or whatever. Yeah.
I didn't get the flurry.
But guys, we are here to talk about some Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have been incredibly lucky over these last few weeks as AMG has just been absolutely tossing out information here on this thing, and then again over here, but like on a separate topic. And there's been a lot to go over, and we have been enriched at all of the releases that are going to be coming out for Marvel Crisis Protocol over the next few months and probably even the next year. Honestly, there's a lot of great stuff.
It's a good thing there's people on Facebook that are really on top of those posts on AMG's own page, getting it to the group pages.
That's true. That is very true. Sometimes within minutes.
Like a minute.
Yeah. It is very weird. I am not on Facebook all day, especially at work. But whenever they post, I just have happened to been scrolling through like within that 30 seconds.
But they used to be really good at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Boom.
Oh, there's
post.
like a pattern.
There used to be.
Okay.
And then it was like, okay, then it was like 2 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And 11 made a lot of sense because that was like, actually, no, it doesn't make a lot of sense because that's before like typical business time on the West Coast. Because if they open offices at 9, that would be noon our time.
That makes sense.
So now it's more like noonish. So it's like the first thing somebody does when they get there is they do the post, it seems.
I like that. So a couple things we're going to be going over tonight. Dan and I played a game earlier this week on the Power Phase. We played that live from Bearded Dragon Games and Hobbies. You can actually check out that store at beardeddragongames.online. Use that beautiful, beautiful code PCME10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. But if you're going to be pre-ordering any of the new models coming out, Malekith, any of the Winter's Guard, Hydra, or Shield, or OG Human Torch, which is part of one of the previous things that I said, but still,
It's probably not part of S.H.I.E.L.D., but
he could be.
I'm really excited. We haven't seen his card. It's the only one we haven't seen his card yet of all that stuff.
I mean, there could be a reason for that. Who knows? What if they're doing the Invaders as a affiliation as well?
I hope so.
That would be rad.
I thought the new Captain America was going to be a leader for the Invaders, or possibly that Nick Fury.
Yeah.
But neither of them are.
Neither of them are.
So, I mean, I didn't read the comics in like the 40s, so I'm not sure who actually led the Invaders.
Might be Namor.
I would love Namor.
Right?
Leading the Invaders with like Human Torch and Cap and Fury.
Especially after seeing that Wakanda Forever trailer.
Oh man, he looks great.
Right?
Like I don't even mind that they're really changing it.
Yeah.
Because I get they want to get a little bit away from Aquaman.
Correct.
Which makes sense because Namor is older than Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
He's better than Aquaman because
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman's Aquaman. Yeah, Jason Momoa, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still Aquaman.
Yeah.
Namor's got little wings on his feet, and they actually kept it for the movie.
They did!
Which is a little shocking. And I like it.
Also, the first mutant.
The first mutant, the first superhero for Marvel, like so many. Namor is actually super important, and a lot of people don't realize that. And he's awesome because he's a character that is not afraid to just be a jerk.
Correct.
And people still like him, like as a character.
A very, very large part of one of my favorite runs in comics of Avengers vs. X-Men.
Phoenix Namor?
Phoenix Namor.
Yeah.
Hanging out and doing mind texts with Emma Frost behind Scott's back.
Hey.
You know? Hey-o.
And he doesn't care. He's going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Now, I've always liked Namor because he's just kind of an outlier.
Yeah.
Like so many superheroes are like good guys, but he's like
he's a wild card.
A superhero,
you don't know, yeah.
Sometimes he's a villain. He's gonna team up with Dr. Doom. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
gonna do what's best for Atlantis.
Correct.
Or at least I guess in Wakanda in the MCU it's not Atlantis.
Yeah.
It's something different based off of South American.
Atlanta.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
But I still don't mind that either because Atlantis is so overdone.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
still there's still they look at Atlanteans. There's still blue people. Akuma's in there, not Akuma. Atuma. Akuma's from Street Fighter. I think his name is Atuma.
Atuma the Hun. Yes. I think what you're thinking of is what Khonshu was buried in. It was Atuma. Atuma full of Khonshu.
Wow.
Yep. Anywho, Dan and I will be talking about our game from Monday. One thing that I'm going to ask chat for right now, this following Monday on Oh Yeah, the Power Phase, that's every Monday night, we do some live actual play battle report of MCP. All your favorite people from the network. We do that live from Bearded Dragon Games. Danny will be here this upcoming Monday, or if you're listening to the podcast version, she was on it yesterday. Feel free to check out the VOD either on Twitch or over on the YouTube. But she's going to be playing an X-Men list and might be open to some suggestions from chat. So if there's anything you want to see her play on Monday, just keep it within the X-Men family or X-Men adjacent.
And she is, we were talking about it earlier today, and she's pretty okay with going leaderless. Like playing X-Men, but not, because she's not a huge fan of Storm.
Yeah.
For the model. So she's like, but if I don't have Storm, I'm not X-Men. And I was like, well, as long as you have, more than half of your models X-Men, you're still X-Men. You can still use the cards. You just don't have a leadership ability. And she's like, okay, I'll probably do that then. And I was like, there you go.
Especially with like First Class being such an awesome card. But so let us know in chat. She's in chat as well right now, so let her know what you want to see her play. In addition to that, we're going to touch briefly on a blog that our own Tactical Tailor posted just today. You can check that out at professionalcasual.com. He was talking about the Hydra terrain pack and ultimate encounter that they speculated upon and gave us a couple pictures of during Mini Stravaganza.
He loves terrain.
He really does. He is our Tactical Tailor, technically talking to terrain.
The terrain head.
Tia text. Via doesn't start with a T, but it does now. But he did it via text. So if you haven't checked that out, that came out today. Make sure to head over to the site and check that out. As well as Dan did one about a whole bunch of the X-Men speculation stuff from Mini Stravaganza.
That was fun.
With Blob and Pyro and a little Sentinel action. And he touched on one of the things that we're going to be talking about later tonight, which is the Sabretooth and Wolverine Rivals pack. In addition to all that, there's a big summary as well of all the stuff from Mini Stravaganza. Guys, we got blogs now. And if you're interested in potentially...
Pretending?
If you're interested in pretending that we know what we're doing...
We're figuring it out as we go.
Yeah. Make sure to shoot us a line at tim@professionalcasual.com or shoot us a line on the Facebook or the Instagram or any one of those things if you are interested in being a contributor to that blog series as well. We are looking for blog writers, and guess what? We're going to pay you. Pay you a little bit.
And we got quite a few in the...
And we got a bunch in queue, too.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got a lot of super exciting stuff coming there. And if you'd like to support that so we can help pay the people that help us contribute to the show and to the community as a whole, patreon.com is a great place to do that. Patreon.com/professionalcasual gets you access to a whole bunch of stuff from around the network. All sorts of extra videos, extra podcasts, actual plays, all sorts of cool RPG stuff and tabletop stuff if that's what you're into, with NPCs and just heaps and heaps and heaps of stuff. You'll also get access to the Discord, where we are pretty much all of the time. We're there a lot.
Yeah, to the point where I get yelled at for being on it too much.
Correct.
He's like, put it away, and I'm like, but I gotta catch up on these messages. I'm not even in this conversation.
But that helps support us. We really appreciate that, and we always just massive thank you to all of our patrons, especially our cake sitters and our King Ding doppelgangers, Bastion, Leroy,
Rob, and Bicon. I don't know if he wants us to call him Bicon or Byron.
That's fair. I think...
No, we did both.
Yeah. Yeah. And
We'll
Bearded
find
Dragon
out.
Games is one of our professional cake sitters as well. So, guys, we really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. But, that said, we're going to be talking about some new cards for Darkstar and Crimson Dynamo.
Some really cool cards.
Some really cool ones, and I really like the vibe that they're going with for the Winter Guard as well. They're doing some very, very, very cool things here.
I like their theme, their motif, their je ne sais quoi.
No, I ate already, but thank you.
Je ne sais croissant.
Croissant!
Croissant!
I do want to throw Moon Knight into every list. So the guys we met from Montreal that were at the Atlantic City Open.
They were so good.
They were so cool.
Great guys.
And every time I did throwing crescents with Moon Knight, he was like, "You mean croissants?"
Was that Nick?
Yes.
You mean croissants? Oh my god, that's amazing.
I loved it a lot.
That's so good. Because it actually says crescents, right?
It does
on
say
the card.
yeah.
Oh, that's even better. They're throwing croissants from now on.
100%.
What's Chuck's thing? Croissants?
Croissants.
So good.
Okay, but so let's jump right into those cards.
Yeah, let's talk about these cards. I was hoping we'd see these this week.
Yes.
I just dropped my daughter off at the library for an activity, and then I got the notification from the Discord that you shared them, and I was like walking down this path that's kind of steep, I was like, oh, I'm trying to zoom in and read them, and I was like, I should stop walking and do this.
I thought you were going to say, I just yelled tuck and roll and kept driving because I needed to see these cards. But so we have 3 new ones for the Winter Guard for Crimson Dynamo and Darkstar, and we'll just jump right into it.
Yeah.
The first one, the one that I'm very excited for, because it has some really interesting counterplay back and forth here, is with Darkstar, and it's called Dark Aura Manifestation. It is an unaffiliated reactive, so you can use it whenever Darkstar is available.
I like that it's unaffiliated.
Very much so.
When they're one character specific, it makes sense that they are.
Yeah. I completely agree. And the card art has Captain Marvel as well as Wonder Man.
I love that it has Wonder Man on it. We have some surprising faces on some of these cards. Like Wonder Man.
A lot of people think Wonder Man is one of the iconic members of some of the 80s and 90s Avengers. I've always felt like Wonder Man was an ionic member of the Avengers during that time frame. That's a great joke if you know anything about Wonder Man. You can send
that was pretty good. I'll give you that.
You can send your groans via text to 603-803-3235.
That's the network's number. It's not just some random person's number. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it kind of is. JB certainly treats it that way. But so with Dark Aura Manifestation, during the power phase, an allied Darkstar may spend 1 to play this card.
1.
This round, the whole round, other characters within range 3 of Darkstar roll 1 fewer defense dice when defending against energy attacks. Couple key points here. It does last for the full round, and you might be saying, wow, that's kind of like a cheaper Bitter Rivals, which is long gone now.
Yay!
Kind of nice to see. It is only on energy attacks, but as we've heavily discussed on the show, energy is one of the least heightened defenses.
Yes, it's the weakest defense on average.
And unless you're She-Hulk. But the cool thing about this card is that it affects everybody. It's all other characters, not just enemy characters. So she's going to be reducing the energy defense of friend and foe.
Yeah, so you got to play a little careful with that so you're not surrounded by your own people.
I like it a lot. I think it's super cool, and you're going to want to run it probably a lot of the time when you have Darkstar. I think it's going to be a very common choice. But the thing that I really like about it is there's going to be certain matchups that you go up against, maybe a little Crime Syndicate, but mostly like Brotherhood and stuff, really heavy physical list where you're going to be like, well, they can't do energy back anyway. And a lot of those physical heavy lists do have pretty weak energy defense, like Crossbones at like a 2 or things like that. You know, it could be devastating.
Carnage probably 1, never mind. But yeah, Venom's a big one.
Yeah.
That's his main weakness. Yeah, it's nice that you could potentially mitigate it so it doesn't harm you at all. Yeah. Realistically.
Yep.
I mean, if you're against defenders, you might be in a little bit of trouble.
Correct.
But no one plays defenders, so you're fine.
So, interesting things I'd like to say about that, but I don't feel I should.
No, but I like what it was.
Shout out to Sooner.
A couple weeks ago, we played a game, and I tried Supergiant for the first time, and I waited to deploy her until I knew where like Scourge was going that you were using the first time.
Yeah.
And purposely deployed her against people that only had physical attacks to take advantage of that. Where similar with Darkstar, it's like, oh, nobody has energy attacks over here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to deploy her that way. So when it affects my characters, it doesn't matter anyway.
Well, and it's not only that, it helps Crimson Dynamo, who comes in the same box. It helps her. Both of her attacks can be energy. Her builder is, in fact, an energy attack, but her spender can be physical or energy. And those attacks actually very specifically. Hawkeye has one. I think Supergiant has one as well. Or one of the cards that was released at Mini Stravaganza, I think we saw, was you could choose between maybe energy and Mystic or something along those lines. Or I might be thinking of Red Skull, Master of Hydra. But I think it's cool. It's super thematic, and it plays in very well with the Winter's Guard.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly just those two.
Yeah, but I'm sure there'll be other people in Winter Guard.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We might get Voltrek
list yet.
Which would be...
I just mean like other people that are already in the game part of Winter Guard.
Fair.
You know, a lot of people are saying probably Bucky. Which, if you go by comics, there's nobody else in the game right now that's been a member of Winter Guard.
Like an official member?
Right. But
I would assume like Black Widow or...
Well, yeah, there's other Russian characters that they might shoehorn in there just so it's not a 4-member affiliation.
Yeah.
Because that's not great for the game.
No.
I don't think. So, personally, I have zero problem with them just putting Russian people in there, like Omega Red. Maybe not Omega Red, because he's more just a terrorist. When the Winter Guard aren't really... They're not bad guys.
No.
They really are the Russian equivalent of the Avengers. They're there to protect the people of Russia. So, like, Colossus in there, I'm super okay with. Magic, Black Widow.
Yeah.
Not Black Widow, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., because it's very specific.
Correct.
What part, you know.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
And that's how the game is going to be going more and more, and I like that. So, like, I can see a few people more people in there. Pretty sure everybody I just listed doesn't have an energy attack. Oh, Core Box Widow does.
Yes, I was going to say there, and then you could always transition that into Red Widow, too, would be a super cool one to see.
I'd love to see Red Widow. I just looked her up today.
Yeah.
And I was writing up a blog post about Winter Guard, and I was learning a bit about them, and I was like, oh, yeah. And was it Vostok?
Yes, the Vision, effectively
really cool.
The synthezoid.
Steel Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of cool stuff.
I really like Chernobog, personally. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, look him up. He's just like a big demon-looking dude. What?
A lot because his name's Chernobog, but like...
It makes you think of Final Fantasy, like a Final Fantasy boss.
Oh, American Gods is where I became heavily familiar with Chernobog.
Oh.
But, and who is it, Perku? Perkuk? Perkul. The Slavic storm god. He looks like Viking Thor. Not that Thor doesn't look very Viking-ish.
Rev writes in the chat. He'll probably know.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Perun, yes. All right, there we go.
Okay. See, he got it right away. He knows.
Pazuzu.
He's ready.
So yeah, I think we can see a lot of cool things from this affiliation, and it being fleshed out sooner than later might not exactly be out of the realm of reality either. We could get another a booster box for them kind of thing, and maybe 2 more, and then they have 8 people or whatever, or a big Chernobog. Yes.
Or a big Pazuzu.
Pazuzu! That was the name of the professor from Futurama's gargoyle pet, who sacrificed himself into the pool of youth to save everybody.
Was Pazuzu?
Pazuzu!
That's why you're saying it like that?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was a god from Pathfinder.
Oh, Pazuzu? It is. Also, yeah, it has... it's a demon in certain mythologies. 100%.
Oh, okay.
But,
the winged serpent, isn't it? Either way, I like this card. Like you said, super thematic. I think it'll see play regularly with the Winter Guard, especially if you're playing as Winter Guard, depending on the other cards we get with Ursa Major and Red Guardian.
Yeah.
I don't think they get too many more, so this is probably an auto-include.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we might be able to see something cool. We might see like a Ricochet shield or something like Iron Man and Cap have.
Oh, with Crimson Dynamo and Red Guardian?
Yes.
Okay, I'd be okay with that.
I would super dig that. So Dark Aura Manifestation actually plays in very well to the next Texas card that was released called Fusion Caster. This is a Crimson Dynamo also only card. It is an unaffiliated active. I know Dan is very excited to talk about the third one, so I'm going to leave that one for him.
Oh, thanks.
Absolutely.
I am.
But this is called Fusion Caster. This is a tactics card that gives Crimson Dynamo an additional attack that he can use once this activation. And it is a Beam 3, Strength 7, 0 power energy attack. It does cost 3 to play the card, and you can use this once per round. And this is a very upgraded version of like Empty the Clip that War Machine has.
Yeah, Strength 7, Beam. Getting into whisper territory.
So the caveats of this particular attack are anytime you roll a crit, you'll actually roll 2 additional dice instead of just the 1. But similar to Empty the Clip, you'll also take 1 damage for each crit in the attack roll.
Yeah. He could take it.
He actually, yeah, he kind of can.
He's kind of built to take it. Sorta.
He's kind of nice punch. But yeah, I love this. Plays super well with Dark Aura Manifestation. Plays very well with him as a whole. And that was always kind of one of the things I really dug about Crimson Dynamo was there was always kind of these safety protocols, not safety protocols, but like go hard mode, like
crisis protocols.
Yes. So, well, Iron Man, I think canonically and in the comics and the movies was always like, I'm at like 10% energy. It's all about saving myself, life support systems, like making sure I'm staying up. And Crimson Dynamo was always like, oh, things are looking bad. I'm just going to overcharge all my things and blow up everyone, I guess. Like,
yeah.
So Fusion Caster very specifically plays into that vibe and that feeling of Crimson Dynamo just sending it, just going full 100, and I like that a lot.
For the greater good, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to put everything he has into just blasting the crap out of whoever's in that Beam 3 with 7 dice apiece, potentially more with other people giving him dice or rerolls or whatever.
Yeah.
Not much within Winterguard itself, but...
Not currently.
Other, people throw, like, Heimdall in there.
Yeah. Especially potentially with the energy defense being weakened on your opponents as well.
Exactly. Yeah, you play this right after Dark Aura Manifestation. Whew, most characters going to be rolling 2 dice against that.
Yes.
That's, on
average, 2 or less.
He's going to really like Gamma Shelters and things for that.
And Demons Downtown.
And just a lot of zappy.
Give him the Zots.
Zippity zap.
All right. Then the last one that was part of this release, Dan.
Ooh, Winter Rush, which has they haven't shown the other side of the art yet, but it looks pretty cool with a bunch of them. And we do see that, was it Vostok?
Vostok, I think.
Which you said is kind of like the Winterguard version of Vision.
Yes, he's a
we thought it was Colossus at first until we got a better look at it and realized that's not Colossus. Colossus doesn't wear a cape or a star on his chest.
Not when he's on the X-Men. Honestly, they're holding the man down.
Right. But Winterguard is a Winter Rush is a Winterguard only card. The only one in this set, which is nice, reactive. During the power phase, any number of allied Winterguard characters may spend any number of power to play this card. If 6 or more power was spent, I don't know why you'd spend more than 6.
Maybe somehow you have 2 affiliations and you're also playing Dark Dimension and you just need to bleed some.
You just need to get rid of a bunch more?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 6 or more, if you just felt like spending more power, spent to play this card. Each time an allied character is damaged by an enemy effect this round, after the effect is resolved, another allied Winterguard character may advance short toward the enemy character that caused the effect.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot. 87% because of Ursa Major. Ursa Major's like, oh, you hurt my friend, and he moves up. Yeah. He gets a whole free movement out of it.
I love it for Crimson Dynamo.
Yeah,
I love
also
it for...
a short movement, so anything to get them up there quicker or get them into position. Yes, it only works. Only Winterguard people get to move, but if somebody's on the squad that's not Winterguard, they still count for this. They can't put the power in, but they are still counted as an allied character if they hit whoever. Baron Zemo is there and he gets hit. Yeah. They can still move towards the attacker.
Here's the thing, and this is very important. There's no wording on here to say that a character can only be moved by the effects of this card once per round.
Right. Yeah. So Ursa Major's just sprinting across the field because you hit his friend.
Right. Probably
a couple times.
A great time for Wakandan herbs to be restricted. I mean, if you set that up right and you pull that off, and someone on the other side of the map is getting pinged, and that person with the herb is just whoop, whoop,
boop,
boop.
I also like it as a deterrent. Like, do you really want to attack Darkstar who's got 1 stamina left when Ursa Major's just going to come over towards you, and then he's going to bear hug you, which is a card in his box.
Correct.
We don't know what it does yet. I was looking up to see how many more cards do we have. There are 3 cards in the Ursa Major and Red Guardians box.
Okay.
We got Bear Hug, Comrade's Keeper, and Sovereign Strike.
Ooh.
So it sounds like 1 Ursa Major, 1 Red Guardian, and 1 just Winter Guard, whatever Comrade's Keeper is. Sounds cool.
I like that.
But I really like Winter Rush. I think it's a good movement piece and psychological piece as well. If you know that's in play,
yep.
Do you really want to? Do you need to make that attack?
Well, and that's actually super important too. I really like that a lot. Those cards, like an Indomitable or a Brace for Impact, where you know they're on the table, they are going to come into a very huge effect, and you do have to play around them a little bit. Having this out there is absolutely one of those things. But it's also during the power phase, so it takes a little bit of that pressure off.
Yeah,
but
and you got to remember to use it then.
But not a turn. And what it should be doing is having you play and making sure that you're ending the round in a spot to not be just swept by it. So I don't think any of us here do that. But
what, playing ahead, you mean?
Maybe one day. We'll get there.
If only.
All right, so that was it for those 3 cards this week. I assume very potentially next week we might be having the Ursa Major and Red Guardian cards.
I would guess so, because they come out like the week after that.
Yeah. We still have yet to see the OG Human Torch card as well.
I'm really curious. Incinerate everywhere, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
I think it'll give us a good idea of what Pyro could be like, too.
Yeah.
How do they deal with somebody just fire?
That's actually a really cool thought, too. How do you make those characters different? Obviously, Pyro manipulates fire in a very big way that the Human Torch doesn't, but can't generate it by himself. So maybe it's going to be more about making fire constructs and doing stuff on kind of a grand scale, while Human Torch might be more of the blaster.
Yeah, and he can fly.
Yeah.
He'd probably be faster.
Can he fly?
Human Torch?
The OG one?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, and a lot of the invaders, like, artwork, they're, like, all running, including Human Torch.
Right, even though Namor and Human Torch can both fly?
Correct. I was like, oh, maybe he can't fly. Huh.
I'm pretty certain he can.
So I feel like seeing other things, like he was in the first Marvel comic, right?
Marvel comic, he's on the cover of Marvel Comics.
Yeah, I think he was flying in that, even.
He's like kind of weirdly flying through like a bulkhead on a ship.
Yeah.
But it's, 40s, so the artwork's a little awkward.
But yeah, Rusty Paints in chat says maybe Pyro can spread Ignite tokens. And we talked about that a little last week, that I was thinking Pyro might have some type of reactive where maybe he can add Incinerate to other people's attacks, or spread it around, or be able to manipulate it, because he's more about fire's already out there,
right? And
now I can do things with it.
Right, that's why he wears a flame. He's got a flamethrower pack on, then that comes on his wrist. He's got to shoot fire out, and then he can do whatever he wants with it.
Did you ever have one of those squirt guns that had the big tanks that you could put on your back as
a
kid? Oh, they were so cool. I never did either.
No, my parents didn't like squirt guns, like super soakers. We got the little ones.
Same!
That were terrible. And they break after 2 minutes of using, and they leak all over you.
Yeah.
Dumb. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mrs. Cole.
I have a better super soaker in my classroom.
It
was already there.
Oh, it was like an inherited super soaker?
Yeah, it was just in one of the cabinets.
What did they use it for?
On the last day of school, typically, we didn't do it this year because people were just not feeling it, I guess. The last day of like elementary school, the kids go out to the bus and we throw a bunch of water balloons at them. So I fill it up and super soaker them from the second floor.
I like that.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I haven't done it like 3 years though.
That stinks.
Too bad.
Yeah. I like shooting water guns at kids.
Last year I just forgot.
How? How's that not like
I don't know.
on literally every calendar? 18 alarms going off. It's time to shoot.
I don't want to like announce it.
Oh, fair.
But then this past year, the people that do all the water balloons were just like, yeah, we didn't do it.
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay. I actually thought I was going to remember this time.
So we also wanted to touch on this Rivals kit that is going to be Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Sabretooth.
I have to keep calling him Sabretooth in my mind so that it's like Wednesday. I think we talked about on the Power Plays a little bit. Because I always spell it wrong. I always want to spell it Saber instead of RE. Tooth.
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth.
That's how I think of it, like from The Office.
Sabretooth.
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 So yeah, this rival panels is only the second one we've had so far. It's a neat concept. It was about this time last year. You guys were talking about the Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus one.
Yeah.
You and Chuck talked about that. Remember, I was on vacation with my family in Maine, trying to run away from everybody to watch it without getting yelled at. Get off the thing!
You just that's poop time.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah. And at the time, we all kind of agreed that, like, it's cool.
Yeah.
We don't need it. I love the new model. I love those Spider-Man and Doc Ock sculpts.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
They're incredible.
But I didn't want to pay the premium for that terrain piece. Just because it's
really awesome terrain piece.
It looks cool, but I just didn't feel like it fit in with what we have.
Yeah, that's fair.
This set it's very similar, where it's 2 characters that we already have in the game, new sculpts, really cool ones, very thematic, and on a like display terrain piece that can also be used in game. This time we have like the bunker, kind of like the dam in X-Men 2.
Yeah, that's exactly 100%. Whenever they like shoot to some Weapon X facility, it's always some thing like this. That's like one of those hangars that goes into the ground.
Right, way out in the wilderness of Canada or Alaska or something. It looks really cool. What I'm actually happy about this, and not everybody is, that these Wolverine and Sabretooth are new models and new character cards.
Yeah.
Different versions of Wolverine and Sabretooth. With new tactics cards.
I'm very excited about this.
Yes.
And I obviously this is going to be a very speculation heavy moment, but legitimately I trust AMG. I think that I would assume that there's going to be alternate ways to get these cards and tactics cards and stuff, either in one of the packs that comes out annually to update the cards. But I would be curious to see if they'll also be in a pack by themselves without the terrain piece or something along those lines.
Well, yeah, that'll be like time will tell. Because it's interesting when they first showed this during Mini Stravaganza, it was like, oh, those are cool.
Yeah.
We have Wolverine and Sabretooth, and they're like, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
There are new versions, and I was like, okay, sold.
Correct.
Yeah, like, all right.
Well, and seeing the Hydra terrain pack as well is coming with an ultimate encounter. I like that they are heading in a direction that is going to be having just more stuff and more ways to play included in terrain and stuff.
More ways to play is always good.
Well, absolutely. and the fact that I'm one of those people that I was never really particularly excited about terrain. It was something the store had if I was going to my FLGS or something along those lines. So the fact that there's other exciting things in there that make me stoked about a terrain piece just draws me in even more.
Dallas did say there's a motorcycle inside the bunker.
And there's a motorcycle in it! Listen! They're listening, guys.
If there's not if one of those tactic cards isn't something to do with Wolverine's motorcycle,
oh yeah, well, it's
going to be real
motorcycle,
sad. But Wolverine stole.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is exciting. Chat reminding us it is Logan the Wolverine.
Right.
Is his name on the card, and Sabretooth Apex Predator are different versions of those characters, which look awesome. With Wolverine, they did confirm, I can't remember if it was later on Mini Stravaganza or in a painting stream later, that Wolverine does come with 2 heads, with the cowboy hat and without. So if people don't want the cowboy hat, you don't have to have it.
Yep.
You don't have to go find your old Wolverine head without a mask you didn't use for the original one. He's got both. Why not both?
From the artwork as well, it does seem like you might be able to have Wolverine given the old Wolverine salute.
Yeah, right.
As well, with the middle claw being significantly longer than the other 2.
Somebody did point out that it is the highlight on the edge of that computer.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and
Listen.
I looked at it closely and I was like, oh, yeah, they're right.
Okay, that's fair. Listen, sometimes...
We can dream.
Yeah. Or, maybe check out AMG's paint streams. Dallas does an incredible job. He can teach you how to give the Wolverine hello with just highlights.
Yeah, for real.
So, well done, Dallas. So, Dan, what are you thinking as far as some of the tactics cards that might be included with this? What are some of the things that Wolverine and Sabretooth might be lacking that would heavily benefit from some new tactics cards? And why is a card very specifically that they both can use called Sibling Rivalry?
Well, first thing, I feel like their tactics cards in this box will depend on what the new versions do. Is this Sabretooth going to have a throw? Because he
is an apex predator.
I mean, he does. Yeah. So they said that a lot of the Rivals panel stuff is heavily based on Wolverine number 10.
Yeah.
Which this whole story. So I wonder how much they're going to base those versions of the characters on what happens during that issue.
Okay.
Because Wolverine just kind of gets wrecked by Sabretooth in that issue. Like, Sabretooth just...
So
Wolverine doesn't stand a chance.
So Wolverine wasn't the best there is at what he did, is what you're saying.
Not in that issue, I don't think. Sabretooth just...
So maybe we'll see a 3 Wolverine.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe a 3-threat Wolverine, which would be nice to fit into more X-Men squads and rosters. He's not in his superhero getup. He's just kind of everyday Logan. I'd like to see them have some way to show his enhanced senses, smell and hearing. Like maybe
a slightly more defensive with some rerolls or something.
I was thinking like you could similar to X-23 her assassin training. This Wolverine could have a reroll to it, one die on attack and defenses for his heightened senses.
Yeah,
he can see it coming, or he can hit you better because of that. He knows where you're gonna go. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I would really like a charge on Sabretooth.
Yes,
especially if this is the Apex Sabretooth.
I think it's gonna be a medium move Sabretooth as well. He's got big old combat boots.
He does.
He's not gonna be going, and a big flowy coat. It's gonna all that wind resistance is gonna slow him down. That drag.
Maybe he has flight. But yeah, I would 100%. And maybe this is somewhat of a role reversal, right? That's that sibling rivalry where we see a 3 Wolverine that maybe is a little bit more defensive with those heightened senses. Maybe we see a Sabretooth that's a medium base and has the charge. Maybe Wolverine doesn't have the charge here because he's a little bit more defensive. And we see fast healing 2 on Sabretooth because it's a more prime form of Sabretooth, and only fast healing 1 on Wolverine.
That'd be kind of cool.
I like that.
I could also see Wolverine like already in his berserker state on the healthy side because of the events of Wolverine 10. Like I don't know if he's ever wanted to kill Sabretooth more than during the events of this issue.
Yeah.
Which if you haven't read it yet, highly recommend it. Even just the initial run of Wolverine by Chris Claremont is fantastic. Some of his best work. And it, like this issue really takes a dark turn. Very much more adult for especially 80s comics. Wolverine was kind of their outlet for that.
Yeah.
Where Sabretooth does evil things.
Yep. He did some really bad things to Deadpool in a similar timeline a little bit later with Deadpool's girlfriend.
Yeah, Sabretooth is not a good guy.
He's not.
So, like, I'd love to see that fit in here somehow. Like, how are they going to show, like, the depraved Sabretooth in the game?
Yeah. I think it's pounces and charges. Maybe it's not a charge. Maybe it is a pounce.
I would love a pounce on Sabretooth. Yeah. Yes.
Yep. And just some absolutely randy stuff. Maybe ankle biter or a form of ankle biter.
On Sabretooth?
On Sabretooth.
Reducing defenses?
Yeah, if they're bleeding, it reduces their defenses.
Oh, I love that.
And Sabretooth's attacks or something along those lines, or they can't modify dice. That I could see.
They can't modify
dice against him, yeah.
If they're already bleeding?
If they're bleeding.
I'd love to see just something like if he's attacking a target that's bleeding, he gets 2 extra attack dice.
Yeah.
Or something, like a feeding
or like
frenzy
Scourge's,
kind of thing.
Executioner's axe, where he can, if the target is bleeding, he can re-roll 2 of the dice in the attack.
Yeah. I
Something
like that. Target is bleeding, his crits become 2 extra rolls.
Yes. Absolutely.
Who knows what? Just something, because we've seen how they do the different, new versions of the same character are usually just kind of tweaks. They have the same general things they're doing typically, like the new Captain America, that's actually old Captain America with the core box Captain America. They're pretty similar, but they're just different enough that I think they're gonna feel quite different on the table.
So like out of those 2, I don't know, I feel they're very different, but they have the couple of things that makes Captain America while really fleshing out everything else. And I think that could be what we see here. Maybe we see more of I'd like to see maybe a range 3 attack on Sabretooth that places him within 1 afterwards.
Oh yeah, just that predatory leap kind of
Yeah.
thing. That makes perfect sense. I just want to see a throw. I'd like to see like his spender have a throw like Ursa Major or Kingpin.
Yeah.
Just because like they talked, AMG's talked about, they themed a lot of this stuff on 90s X-Men stuff, especially the cartoon. Whereas in the cartoon, they didn't like slash each other to make each other bleed. So when Wolverine and Sabretooth would come together, they just kick each other off and throw them into a wall. So I really want Sabretooth to have that throw. So put on his spender.
Yeah.
Before damages dealt, he throws the target short.
Do you think Wolverine and Sabretooth will have some form of like hunted or enemy style deal where they get benefits or negatives against each other?
Like arch nemesis type thing, like Green Goblin has.
Yes. Yep. Or Carnage.
And Carnage and Venom. Carnage to Venom and Green Goblin to
Spider-Man.
Are they do they have the same thing there? I use Carnage so rarely anymore. Is it the same as Green Goblin's?
I don't recall.
I'm gonna look it up. My tablet's slow though. Typing. Boop bop beep.
Here's the good news. We got it right here, baby girl.
mcpdb.com. Thank you for making this. Who you got? Carnage? I'll bring up Green Goblin.
When attacking Eddie Brock, this character may modify or re-roll failure results and may re-roll any number of attack dice. At the start of each this character's activation, if there is a non-dazed enemy Eddie Brock within range 3 of this character's first action must be an attack targeting that Eddie Brock if possible.
All right, so it's exactly the same on Green Goblins. That's what it's arch nemesis Peter Parker.
Okay.
So your arch nemesis Eddie Brock.
Yep.
So I could see like that the Sabretooth having arch nemesis.
Yeah.
James.
They
Howlett.
probably call it brotherly love, but yeah.
And then Logan the Wolverine will have arch nemesis Victor Creed.
All right. A little bit of a wild card here.
Oh no.
Sabretooth will have a with a mouth style ability called I'm Your Dad. And he can only use it on Wolverine, and he can spend 2 power to get rid of 3 power on Wolverine.
By saying I'm your dad?
I'm your dad.
You're making less and less sense all the time.
No, that's happened a couple times. People are like, oh, isn't that your dad?
He has told Wolverine he was his father to mess with his head.
Yeah.
So, okay. No, I'm behind it now.
And so
he
how do you
has
mess
done
with
that
Wolverine's
in the
head?
comics.
It would take away some of his power. It's a great...
I love it.
It almost fits too well. And then Wolverine's absolutely going to have a tactics card that's going to give him a motorcycle for a long move, once per game.
Absolutely. If that's not in, I'll think of something.
Here's what it is.
What?
All right, here is Wolverine's motorcycle card as the local expert on Wolverine motorcycle style shenanigans. It is going to cost 3 power. Wolverine will be able to make a long movement immediately. So this is not his movement becomes long. This is Wolverine immediately makes.
He advances long.
If he collides with someone, the target suffers a collision as if they were colliding with a size 2 or maybe size 1.
Size 3.
No.
Oh, like the
colliding with a motorcycle. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because a car is size 2, so motorcycle.
It's
a big heavy chopper. It's gonna be size. Let's make it size 2 just because.
It's
momentum.
Bigger than a trash can for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, a size 2 collision and rolls 2 fewer defense dice or dodge dice against it as well.
So it's kind of a mix of Shield Mobile and Fastball Special. I like it.
It's actually heavily borrowed from a card, which once again will probably be reprinted in this box, Sibling Rivalry. Where you roll, or you roll a little bit less.
It makes sense as a one-use card because he crashed the motorcycle. He does the Akira thing and then jumps out of the way as it crashes into somebody.
The
Akira slide. That's what I was trying to say.
Akira slide.
I love it. Rusty in chat says there's a card called Nobody Kills You But Me that's a bodyguard. That's so good. I love that so much.
Wow, that is really awesome.
He takes the hit, so it's no, I'm going to kill him. You back off.
Wow, I like that a lot.
That's so good.
I could see that being one of those ones, too, where maybe he does, in fact, roll less defense dice against that, but gets a free attack back. Like, similar to the Juggernaut one, where he can, like, move up after one of his friends has been attacked and then make an attack, but it's a bodyguard mixed with that.
Oh, my God.
That's really clever. I like that a lot.
That's so good.
Ravensguard says motorcycle card. Play 10 power, replace Wolverine with Ghost Rider. He's affiliated for this game.
I can't wait to get different versions of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Think we'll ever get Ghost Rider in the car?
Ooh.
Or now that we got something the size of Malekith and Sentinels, do you think that's out of the realm of possibility?
I don't. I think we could. What I would like to see is Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Oh, definitely before the car. I don't really
Shout
care
out to
about a
Big
car,
Shock.
but
Yeah.
Cosmic Ghost Rider looks awesome. Or like the Ghost Rider Cosmic Deadpool. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm. Thinking of the Punisher?
No, it's like Ghost Rider and Deadpool together, but cosmic.
Oh.
It's weird.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
I think it's cosmic. I don't know. I only know about a Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Oh, okay.
It was Deadpool Spirit of Vengeance. One of his attacks when he go by with the taco truck, it was it's called Weighed and Measured, but it's WADE and measured.
Yeah.
And then he like throws a chimichanga at you.
What was the primal Ghost Rider that was on like a mammoth?
Oh yeah,
That could be potentially be bigger than Malekith.
Was it called Primal Avengers? Those were kind of cool.
It was like first Savage Avengers, maybe.
I feel like that's more. That was just a different name for something recent. I think it was, or maybe it was Savage Avengers.
I don't know.
That is kind of awesome,
right?
It's like what?
Ah.
Oh, there's been so many Ghost Riders though. Or what's the Ghost Rider bad guy? That's kind of like Spider-Man to Venom. Like Ghost Rider's lean, and his enemies like this big buff bulky dude.
Potholes.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Potholes.
Avengers 1,000,000 BC. Thank you, Rusty.
Oh
yeah, Ghost Rider on a horse, like Wild West Ghost Rider riding a horse. Yes,
I dig that. So I'm really excited for this. I like Wolverine and Sabretooth a lot. I've been playing Sabretooth recently as part of the Power Bottom 10. Now the X-Force is included in that.
Oh yeah,
which is super cool.
He did work for you on Monday.
It really did. It did or didn't?
Sabretooth did well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we need Valkyrie on a Pegasus for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Talking big mounted models.
But as far as that game Monday, Dan and I played a game of Marvel Crisis Protocol. Maybe you've heard of it over at twitch.tv/professionalcasual. Actually, it's right here. If you're watching the show live, we go live every Monday night for Bearded Dragon Games and play some Marvel Crisis Protocol. A bunch of shtick, bunch of just wild stuff that we do, and we have a good time.
Good times. I was Iceman this week.
You were Iceman.
I said if I can't play Iceman in the game, I'm going to play as Iceman, and I got a bodysuit that chat bullied me into getting.
I am insanely excited. I am working on some shtick right now.
Oh.
A prop to bring in that is also functional in the game.
A bucket of ice?
It is not a bucket of ice. I'll tell you after this, but because guys, it's gonna be so cool. You guys are gonna be like, that is a lot of effort for a really stupid joke, Tim, and I'm gonna be like,
Have they met you? That's your thing.
So I'm pretty stoked about it, but. Yeah, so I played the Power Bottom 10, which included this past week Cable, Sabretooth, Deadpool, Hydra Bob, and Taskmaster. We played 17 Threat and Gamma Shelters and
another
Cubes.
one. Cosmic Cubes.
Cubes. And what did you run?
I had Criminal Syndicate.
Oh, that's right.
Kingpin, Venom, Kraven, who I totally forgot about his superpowers the whole time that should have been using. And two other people. Hood.
Yep.
I wanted to try because I just got it painted.
I really like Hood.
Who?
Like a lot.
I had somebody else. I had 5. Who was my last one? Chat, help me out. People were there. I had Kingpin, Venom, Hood, Kraven, and surprisingly not Lizard.
Heimdall.
Oh, Heimdall. That's right.
I could see why you forgot because he was gone pretty quick.
Yeah, you targeted him. I made him a prime target on accident.
Yeah.
With your cat and mouse. I thought Cable had already gone round 1. And you're like, no, I haven't. Blam, 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 blam.
Cat and mouse with Cable on a lot of different setups is surprisingly good. I'm shocked that he's one of the lower taken characters. But being able to move up range 2 with cat and mouse to put him in range of double shotting and then still having body slide for after that, like you don't even need to cat and mouse him to pull that off.
You body slid and threw something at me.
Yeah.
Like he got so much power from doing all that.
Yeah. Yep. Cable's solid.
Yeah, I mean, when we first came out, Chuck would tell anybody that would listen how broken Cable was.
Yeah.
And we learned pretty quickly that he's good.
Mm-hmm. I got a great Ascani son off, too, which is super exciting in the center. And maybe that's where he thrives, is on something like Demons Downtown or Gamma Shelters, where people are really kind of clustered up over those secures. But being able to target most of the board, especially when you have prime objectives in the center of the board, is really a great spot for him.
Yeah, that 5 ranged attack is... Whew.
And I love Sabretooth.
I really like Sabretooth. I can't believe he's in the power bottom 10.
Same. And with Deadpool, and I got off a really good, what's it, Excessive Violence with Hydra Bob.
Yeah, I think, what'd you do, 12 damage?
12 damage on just the free damage, right?
No. It was 10, because you shot, I think, Kraven directly, and it hit the rest of my squad.
Yeah.
So everybody else, there were 4 other characters that took 2 damage apiece.
Mm-hmm. And my Sabretooth took 2 damage, too.
He didn't care. He was fine. And it definitely dazed the target, I think was Kraven.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh my gosh, it was the best I've ever seen Bob do.
Yeah.
He just, blomp, gone.
I used Patch Up on him for 2 to keep him alive. He was such an MVP.
Well, yeah, because chat took away his superpower that keeps him alive.
So... If you haven't ever checked out the stream, we have a bunch of channel redemptions and things that you can use channel points for to affect the game. You can give players power. You can take away power from certain characters. You can also ban reactives and superpowers. So one of our very good friends, Reverend Right Mad, banned, but how? On Hydra Bob.
It's so good.
So he was not able to come back and stay alive if I didn't have the activated token or whatever on him, which was pretty detrimental to how I usually play Hydra Bob.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how he's designed to work. So I was like, oh, I could actually kill Bob this round. Still didn't. Still couldn't kill him. I patched him up. He had 2 cubes. And then it was just like, oh, I'll just cane laser him with Kingpin, and still didn't get him.
Yep.
I had deliberated that a whole bunch because at that point I had 2 characters left because you were just doing so much damage. Just you dazed KO'd all my 3 threats fast. So I was really hemming and hawing. I was like, I only have 4 actions left per round. So I was like talking through it, trying to kind of get chat to say something like, hey, I could use some help here. I need to score 1 more point to get to 16. And then my dice just completely abandoned me that last round where Venom... What was I? Tech Cable did nothing with the symbiote tendrils.
I wouldn't say abandon you. You did a ton of damage on the swing.
True. I'd used his spender and did a bunch of damage, just enough to not daze Cable, give him a ton of power, so it effectively didn't do anything but power him up because it was the last round.
Yeah. And
then Kingpin went over and tried to cane laser Taskmaster and Bob and did nothing. And I was like, come on!
I do like the thought of Kingpin kind of like walking up over there to the enemy's gamma shelter and just be like, "Get out of here, kids!" and just
get off my lawn, blam!
with his cane.
Zamp.
Oh, it was really good. But we do that every week. Make sure to check that out. VODs are on the YouTube. Link is right down below as well and in the show notes.
It's such a blast.
It really is. So this next week, Danny's going to be here. I think I saw a chat earlier talking about, Rogue and Gambit. Or Rogue and
X-23
and X-23
and Domino.
Yeah,
she's forgotten about Domino. She kind of wants to fit Bucky in there just because. I was like, well, if you take out Storm, you're still X-Men. You can put Bucky in if you want.
Yeah, X-23 and Honey Badger are both so awesome. I love fielding those models.
I hate it going against you with those 2.
Yeah, that's
because they just like leapfrog up the board. I'm like, why am I doing this? I know what he's doing, and I keep doing it anyway.
I told myself I want to do this again, but they're on my porch. How did they get here?
The last one was super frustrating when I had Storm against, you had X-23 and Honey Badger, and I was like, oh, I have enough power for Tempest. When I throw X-23, she'll be counting as size 3, so she'll do 4 damage.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wait, she can only throw size 2. Storm!
Still a very good throw. It's inexpensive. It can throw enemies or terrain, and most characters are ranged or size 2, which is cool. I think Storm's pretty good.
Normally it's fine. It was just in that instance, I think I had dazed the only other character in range. I think it was Blade. He was already dazed, so my only possible target was X-23, and she's not viable.
Correct.
And I was just like, come on.
Correct.
But yeah, so Domino probably going to jump up that list. I know Danny really likes Domino to play.
Domino is one of those characters similar to when you face a Deadpool, you just can't damage them or hurt them. I can't put damage on Dominoes ever.
Right.
It just doesn't work. Which is granted part of the character, but also you don't need to stack luck with mechanics that actually give you luck. You know?
Danny was asking for help in the chat earlier, so she didn't have to eat dirt again.
Oh, fair. She ate dirt today.
She chose to eat dirt today.
When she was practicing for Monday.
Yeah. She got an Oreo blizzard thing, so.
Oh, one of the mini blizzards?
I don't know. It was a small blizzard, I guess.
Shout out to Dairy Queen real quick. Not a sponsor. They have, I really like, and I hope that chat agrees with me. And if you, agree with the opinion that I'm about to say, please go leave a 5-star review for Wait Did I Roll a Wild on Audible or Amazon Music, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. It'd really help us out and help us, get into more ear holes. But drumsticks are awesome. The little frozen like ice cream treats, drumsticks, I love them a lot.
I thought about trying that today, and I didn't.
So I got it, and it's a blizzard with a bunch of chocolate coated like waffle cone pieces in it and peanuts.
Oh, it's a blizzard?
Yeah.
So it's like they literally just
chopped up an ice cream cone and put it in a blizzard. Yeah. And I love peanuts in my ice cream, and I don't know why. Like I really like peanut butter.
Peanut butter and ice cream, yeah. Peanuts?
Yeah, peanuts. The peanut butter parfait is also stellar.
I don't know about that.
So they also make peanut butter parfait bars. They're called peanut buster bars.
What?
And I looked at them and I was like, oh, those look pretty good. I'll try those out. So we got a box of them.
Yeah.
And my wife really likes dilly bars. Guys, I know this is a very bad tangent. I'm sorry. But so I picked up a box of them and I didn't look at the calories and the nutritional facts or anything.
Why would you? It's ice cream.
It's 500 calories per ice cream bar.
Oh my, so many calories.
Because it's a sundae with a stick in it, and then they dip it in chocolate. It's the whole thing.
That's awesome.
It's a brick. It is a brick of
I want
peanuts
to try one
and
now.
layers of fudge. I ate them all. I was like, well, I got to eat them all in one day.
I paid for them.
Right? I can't spread these out. Otherwise, I'm going to be over calories every day. So I'm going to just eat them all over 2 days.
Jeez.
And then they're done, and I don't have to worry about them no more.
Did your tummy hurt?
No.
Really?
Yeah, they were really good. Really good.
That sounds so good.
It was. And
what is that called? No, don't tell me again. I'll probably buy some. I don't actually want to.
Listen, we'll bite the bullet together. We can share a box, and then it's like not as bad.
Just bring a box for recording tomorrow, and it'll be all gone real quick.
Ooh.
You got a lot of ice cream hounds here for recording the Lost Omens
That's
podcast.
Very true. A little bit funnier to bring it for Papa when JB will be here.
yeah.
But
better for the shtick. So do it again next Friday.
But guys, if you like peanut buster pusters, parfaits,
Poplars.
Mama.
Thank you for getting that.
The babe. If you like peanut buster parfaits, make sure to give us a little follow ski or subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, it comes out there. If you're doing the podcast version, listen, the ratings help us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Also, supporting us on the Patreon lets us do a lot, allows us to get new equipment and be able to provide coverage for a lot of the tournaments and conventions and stuff, as well as pay our blog writers, which you can be one of those too. If you want to send a 2,000-word sample blog or article to tim@professionalcasual.com. Listen, we're looking for people. We want to get more voices from the community out to more people. So that's the place to do it, professionalcasual.com, if you want to check out those blogs. And we got a whole bunch of really cool stuff coming down the pipe.
Yeah, for real.
Very excited about
Looking at the list of what people are working on, and I can't wait to read those.
Right? And Dan put out a very good article last week about the X-Men stuff, Sentinels, and Pyro. I was going to say
Plob and Byro.
Plob and Byro. As well as summary of events from Mini Extravaganza. Taylor put out the Hydra one today, which was very good as well. I'm super excited that Sarah Rowan is doing a ultimate encounter for that terrain grouping.
Wait to see what that tank does, running people over. I didn't realize this. Taylor's paying more attention to the stream than I was when they were talking about it. The tank turret can be switched out for different cannons.
Oh.
And it is interchangeable with the turret. The bunker turret thing.
Okay.
Right?
Who doesn't like options?
Right? And you can put Red Skull in the back of it.
Ooh.
I'm really curious. I can't remember. I don't think they confirmed or denied this yet. That Red Skull that goes in the back, is he just an alt sculpt for regular Red Skull? Do you put him on a base, or is he going to be like a new, different Red Skull?
Yeah, there's certainly one thing we need, and it's more different Red Skulls. But if you missed it last week, Chuck and I talked heavily about the Hydra releases from Mini Extravaganza, and they're awesome. I am so excited for like Arnim Zola and Strucker.
Oof. He looks so good.
He does. There have been times in the past where I'm like, I don't know how you would add more affiliation abilities, right? You've done all the things. You've given people rerolls on this or that. You can change attack types. And then they come out with the Winter Guard. And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
He's got 2 leaderships.
And then Hydra got 2 cool ones.
Oh, yeah, because there's the Baron Strucker and... What is the new Red Skull even called?
Red Skull, Master of Hydra.
Master of Hydra. And like...
You hate to see it, Chuck.
The Baron Strucker one it's wordy.
Yeah.
I think it's not like Sins, which like, I don't want to read all this. I don't remember what it all does. Where it just is very specific.
Yeah.
But I think once you play it, it's going to go real quick. And
yeah.
Be like, oh, you got a thing, get rid of that, you take a damage, blah, blah.
And a lot of the wording is just clarity to make sure that things aren't misconstrued, which I think they did a very good job on. I think that affiliation leadership ability for, what is it? Not the High Council. Maybe it was. For the Hydra High Council is Barons.
Yeah.
That lets you
so good.
Move around debuffs, special conditions to targets if you do damage to them is awesome. And then you heal every time you put a special condition on an enemy, which is just, it's cool. It's really neat. It's rad as heck. But yeah, I'm stoked for it. I'm here for it. I'm really excited.
The future of MCP is bright.
If you happen to be in the New Jersey area, one of our friends, Steve, is going to be running a tournament at Mythicos Studios this Sunday on the 31st. So if you're into that, if you're in that area, make sure to check that out. I will also be heading to NashCon next month, hoping to see a lot of you there as well. I'll be running the Power Bottom 10, and I believe we are going to be streaming the event as well. There won't be commentary for it, but we'll have a stream up most likely.
Very cool.
So follow here. Let us know what's up. Twitch.tv/Professional Casual Network. Thank you if you're listening to the podcast version. Patreon.com/Professional Casual. And...
Did you want to talk about this weird sign behind me?
I do. Thank you for bringing that up. So, guys, if you are watching the live stream of this, tomorrow is the final episode of Elite 8 Showdown. This is a show that Big Chuck and I put on. It is coming to a close, or what some people might call an indefinite hiatus. Last episode's up tomorrow. Check it out. Let Chuck know that you care about him and that you appreciate him and you think that he's a good guy and he's doing good and that you are happy with the positive changes in his life. Because we are all very happy with the positive changes in Chuck's life as well. But there's never been a better time to watch the ending of a show. So that'll be tomorrow. Elite 8 Showdown on all good podcasting platforms. And yeah, that's our faces over there. Your face could even be on there too, and that hot dog.
And your face.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? There's just always so much. Mini Extravaganza has just been one of those things, right? Where there's just like, and there's more!
Yeah, and I've been getting into Legion lately, so I was watching the Legion stream, and there was so much there. AMG is just, they must be exhausted all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Rusty, yes. Actually, we're going to be at that New Hampshire.
Is that the one in Midgard Games?
Yeah. Yep. So we'll be there and we'll be streaming it. So if you want to see one of the LVO qualifiers, I believe it is boop, 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 boop. I want to say August 27th.
Don't get me started on Ahsoka, Rusty.
I think we'll be at Midgard Games for their LVO qualifier tournament and we'll be streaming it.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, that'll be cool. We'll meet Rusty.
Oh, dope. That's awesome. I do want to point not next week.
Not next week.
But the week after.
Yes.
We're going to have Wait Did I Roll Wild on location.
We will.
Right?
Uh-huh. So, guys, we're not going to Gen Con this year, even though I really want to go to Gen Con. And
Right.
there's this other event that I really want to go to. There's a lot happening that week. But
Too much happening that specific week.
we booked a thing a long time ago, and I paid a deposit, and we got to go to it and spend time with my family and Dan's family.
And Anthony's family.
And Anthony from Bearded Dragon Games. But we're going to be doing Wait Did I Roll a Wild live from the lake house, I think. We're going to try to figure it out. Will there be 24 kids running around screaming, all trying to use the internet and complaining that they don't want to do anything because they can't play Fortnite here? Probably. But
it's 7 o'clock. They're not going to be in bed yet, so we're going to have to yell like this the whole time.
It'll be great. Will Chuck be there? Probably not, but he could be.
We never know.
Danny might be there. Justine might be there. Anthony, I really hope is there. That'd be super cool to have him on the show.
That'd be really neat, yeah.
But so that'll be next week for Wait Did I Roll a Wild?
Week after next.
Week after next. Thank you.
Not next week. I'm not ready to go. I'm not packed yet.
Me neither. You don't pack the night before like I do?
Probably that morning.
Oh, yeah. But guys, thank you so much. ProfessionalCasual.com for all stuff professional and also casual. We love you. And you know what? We didn't talk about this, but every Wednesday, right here on the Twitch, Taylor has a hobby hangout.
We didn't forget Taylor.
We
Definitely
didn't.
forget
I was
Taylor.
there this week, but
I popped in for a few seconds.
I
always watch it later while I'm painting, so it's okay.
Well, and it's actually really good for that. So if you're looking for something to do, say every Wednesday night around 7 or 6 p.m. Eastern, why don't you get rid of some of your backlog by watching Taylor get rid of some of his backlog too. It's really fun. It's a hobby hangout. Some of us pop in.
Taylor's a great guy.
Taylor's a great guy.
He's
I like him
super
a
fun.
lot. He's very cute too. He does great work, incredible work. And he teaches too while he does it, which I really enjoy. I actually have learned quite a bit from watching the streams of it.
He still doesn't give himself enough credit.
He doesn't. Not
He's
at all.
a really good painter.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing.
He finished my Heimdall, I believe. He was painting the rainbow parts this past week.
Mm-hmm.
On it next week, I'm sure he's going to have all sorts of other stuff to do, and I'm sure you'll see him do some Winter Guard too when they come out.
Yeah.
Which will be rad as heck.
If you don't let him paint Ursa Major. If you don't have him paint Ursa Major. No, let's keep it the first way. If you don't let him paint your Ursa Major.
I like that one better, yeah. All right, Taylor, I guess I'll let you paint Ursa Major. You got a good friend here in Dan convincing me to let you do that.
I know he's so excited for that bear.
Yeah.
As are we all.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. But guys, we love you. Stay safe. And remember, this is the vlog about Marvel Crisis Protocol. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.